Well, can a middle-aged, middle-class woman survive when she suddenly has to make beds in a hotel and live on $7 an hour? Well, one $7 an hour job is just not going to pay the rent. She has to do back-to-back shifts as a chambermaid and a waitress. Joining us now is Colleen McClure, lead actor who plays Barbara in Nickel and Dimed, or Not Getting By in America, along with her director, Mr. Brian Hansen. Guys, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you for asking.
Us, yes.
All right, so Colleen, you and I go back a little ways.
Yes.
One thing I know, you are not from New Mexico. You're not
Really?
even native to the United States.
I'm an imposter.
You're an imposter.
Actually, you're the one with the dialect.
You're right.
You have an American accent.
That's-
You're the one that has the accent, not
That's
me.
right. I had a friend from
Excuse
Australia
me.
years ago tell me that. They're like, we don't have accents.
Yeah, we
in
don't have
Australia.
accents
It's
either.
you Americans that have
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So how do you tie this into and make this relevant? I mean,
Right.
obviously, you are an actor. You do it through your craft. But what do you do to make this relevant for the audience and make it relevant for you as an actor?
Well, obviously, I've had a lot of dialect coaching for the process. Tyler Strand was my dialect coach for this. Thanks, Tyler, for being so hard on me. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So that was awful. And so I went through that process at the beginning with line memorization, and then ultimately the character has to take over, and then everything it sort of merges together.
Gotcha.
And that's how I did it. And
Gotcha.
also, obviously, just exploration of characterization and character arc and all that.
Well, so the story, you know, follows along this woman who was trying to make it as millions of Americans are trying to do on minimum wage jobs. There, you know, figures coming out that in most cities, someone that works full time at a minimum wage cannot afford a two-bedroom apartment, which most folks, they have kids, they need that. So this play, very, very timely. It was adapted from a novel.
Correct.
No,
correct?
not from a novel.
A book.
A book, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an account of Barbara Ehrenreich's experiences. And she went into it with a kind of arrogant attitude. She figured, well, you know, she's got a PhD, she's smart, she's healthy,
Right.
she can do it. And what she discovers is, no, she can't.
No, she couldn't do it.
Yeah, she comes from a working class background, you know, her ancestors and so on and so forth. So she thought, I know this, I'm not going to be shocked. And in fact, she's totally shocked. And not only shocked, she's fails, really.
Now, how old is this? When did she do this sort of social experiment, turn it into a book? So what time frame are we looking at?
Well, the book came out in 2001, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was, in the book, she describes herself as 55.
Okay.
So that'll give you some idea. And of course, that's one of the points that's made throughout is she says to her fellow workers, why are you doing this?
Right.
And they say, who else will hire me
Right.
after I'm 40 years
Which is
old?
a scary prospect. A lot of people,
Right.
you have these great corporate jobs and then something happens and you're kind of back at square one.
And most of them are women.
Yeah.
That's an important factor
Yeah,
too.
yeah, absolutely. So now one thing, I mean, obviously these are very heavy subjects, but this is told through a lot of humor. You really get the message
Absolutely.
across. It's a very
Yes.
funny play.
Very funny.
And of course, you need to know that I'm acting up because I'm not really 55. I'm
29.
29 and
Yeah.
a half.
Yeah.
So
Good
I'm
actor.
acting
There you
up.
go. See?
Yeah, no.
That's right.
And actually, my daughter's just graduated. She's in LA, and she's just graduated from college, and she's doing restaurant work, and she's working in the daytime in retail. She's
Wow.
doing both
Wow.
right now. So this is very close to home
Yeah,
for me.
it's very close to home.
Yeah.
All right, so you opened last week at the Adobe Theater, and you have a pretty healthy run we're talking about through October, right?
Right,
Through the
October
early
5th,
October.
yeah.
Yeah.
October 5th. And the Adobe Theater over on 4th Street.
Yep.
Just one quick question. Did you find it kind of challenging, the Adobe being a very small space with a very large subject and a very large story? Was it challenging to bring this into an intimate theater?
Absolutely. In fact, that's one of the things that makes this play so interesting is that you have to find a way to have, I don't know what the number of scenes is exactly. I would suspect maybe 20, 21 scenes. And you have to put them on the relatively small stage of the Adobe. And you can't just sort of have isolated scene here and an isolated scene there. So we had to find ways to have the actors actually change the set. So,
That's really exciting.
you know,
Right.
it goes from the inside of a car
Yeah.
to the inside of a home that the Merry Maids or whatever they are
Yeah.
are
Magic
cleaning.
Maids,
Magic
actually.
Maids. Sorry, I have to be careful.
Fantastic. All right, well, this is a very exciting piece, guys. You got to go check it out. For more information on how to get tickets, head over to Cost.com and click on the Style tab.